session, we will learn how to convert a CSV file like this one. CSV file is a data file that has values separated by commas. A formatted SAS file looks like this. Here you see that values are neatly assigned under 3 variable names. Household, that takes the value before the first comma. Product, that takes the value after the first and before the second comma. And spend, that takes value after the second comma. Now we are in the SAS coding area. Here we will write the code that will achieve the objective. To begin, we always start with the data step and name the SAS dataset being created. We create the data statement like this. Next, we use the length statement. Length statement tells SAS how much space to use to store the variables.
Now, guys, as you see, we've used the earlier concept that I described, which is using assessment as a tool for content delivery. Now, what's happening here is that this person who's talking to me, he said that, okay, this is the CSV file. We want to make it look like this in the SAS program. How do we do the coding for it? Now, I will just explain that, hey, the length of a specific variable now has to be defined. So my job right now is to define the length of this variable called household. And I have a prompt which says, please input the length that should be assigned to the variable name household, enter to submit. So, let me just click here. I see that, the household variable has got 3 digits to it. So I think anything, if I, let's say, feel that, there are 2 zeros before 1. So what value does 0 have? So let me just go with 2. The 2 digits are fine. And I click on enter. Then what it's telling me is that the length of variable in SAS database should be assigned to more or equal to the length of the value from the input file. So as you can see, the input file, the length of the value is 3. So in the output file, there should minimum be 3 spaces. So as I clicked on OK, it auto corrected it for me and allowed me to move on. So this is the type of coaching experience that people were, the trainers were giving to people in the classroom, which we simulated digitally. So as you can see, guys, this is all custom coding work. There are no nexts, no nothing, and there is no explanation. I mean, it's just not like a normally learning. It's completely coaching style. So it moves on for me to now identify how many digits will I create for this variable called product. So it says, the prompt here says, please input the length that should be assigned to the variable names product, enter to submit. So I know product is, in the first figure, the product is a single digit, and another one also it's a single digit. So if I just say 1, will I get that right? So okay, so it says the length of the variable in SAS database should be assigned to more than equal to the value. The length of the input file as well, we can assign any value greater than or equal to 1 here.
Next, we will use the info statement. It tells SAS where to read the data from. So we give the path of this file followed by the info option DSD, which stands for delimiter sensitive data. It sets the default delimiter to comma. If there are 2 delimiters in a row, it assumes there is a missing value. And finally, if character values are placed in quotes, single or double, the quotes are stripped from the value. Next, we use the input statement. This input statement tells SAS what variables it is reading in.
Okay, so now I'm right now in the coding area where I'm being taught how to write the code. And as I come to the part where I have to define where is that input going to be, so I'm going to say, household and click on enter. Okay, input statement assigns the variable name to the database column. In this sequence, it is input that you want starting column to be household. You will include this in the code here. Fantastic. So it is giving me prompts if I am going right or wrong. So I know the second one is product. So let me write product. Product appears in the second column. So it will be mentioned here in the code. Okay. Fantastic. Enter to submit. So I will say spend. or let me just write product here as well. Okay, so here the spend will appear.
Next, to activate this code, we write run. These are the different statement types you have learned in this session. And remember these nuances you have learned today.
Okay, so the style of this e-learning that you saw, guys, was like I said, we simulated a coaching experience. This is a fantastic style if you want to really pick up a technical subject and really, replicate what happens in a classroom between two individuals, which is the coach and the coachee, and create that, scale that experience digitally so that all people can get the advantage of having a coach on their side who are literally walking them step by step in their skill development.